What is up, Burnville Legal Racing family? I hope you enjoyed Season 1 of Burnville Legal Racing. I am Nick Sokolovich, your 2019 Burnville Legal Racing champion, and we all welcome you to the recap show. Yeah. All right, boys. Well, hell of a season.
Oh, that it was.
Yeah.
Burnville's most legal, by the way. 0% criminal rating here.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's why you are the most respected member of the Burnville Legal Racing arena.
I died. Mason died.
Mason died.
Spoiler alert.
Yep, for anyone that hasn't seen season or episode 6 yet.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, we have segments in Burnville Legal Racing that are purely race-based. So what you see on YouTube are the videos for the season, right? Those are the entertainment, like the reality show-based videos.
Mm-hmm.
But on a side note, we also race in things that aren't videotaped. And we have a whole Excel spreadsheet, Google Docs spreadsheet, that we keep times, we keep criminal ratings,
Any law broken, we write it down.
records,
You got records.
placements, and it should be available for the public pretty soon. Yeah.
We're working on it. A lot of data, a lot of information on your favorite racers. You get to see who did what, how good they are, and just overall how they do each time they race.
That's right. If you want to ask for our autographs, you can hit us up. DM.
Mm-hmm. So, anytime.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into the meat and potatoes right here. Burnville Legal Racing Season 1.
Oh, take a look at the spreadsheet here.
Oh, you want to pull up the spreadsheet?
Yeah. All
See,
right.
we're getting analytical here.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we'll do last to first place here.
All right.
All right.
Who was last place?
This season, it was Chris Kirshner in 7th place with a total of 53 points. He did not have any completed times for 3rd Street and Wolf Street, so that really set him back points-wise in the rankings.
So we had some DNFs.
Yeah.
And by the way, guys, our scoring system, it's kind of like golf. Lowest score wins, so if you get first place overall in a race or on a course, then you get 1 point. If you get second, you get 2, so on and so forth. What would we say? DNFs were last place plus 5 each time you DNF'd.
And each subsequent DNF.
You add another 5 to it.
Yep. It was compounding.
Mm-hmm.
So after that,
We do not tolerate DNFs at all in Burnville Legal Racing.
That's
That means
right.
you broke the law.
Obey the damn law.
Seriously.
after that in 6th we have Phil Rodig. He only had 3 completed times.
Ah, a new racer.
Yep.
So,
Fresh meat for the course.
but he
Yeah, fresh meat, man.
Yeah,
Fresh meat.
easy pickings, that's all I have to say.
Yeah.
in 5th we have Devin Klopp.
Oh, that's my boy right there.
Yeah, he's a bit.
That's my boy right there.
So he had a criminal rating of 11.54%, by the way.
And he's the first one that's on video of the episodic Burnville Legal Racing series.
Yeah.
That's, yeah, because
There's-
Rodig and Kirshner weren't on it.
No. There was a lot of their grudge match too between Devin and Chris. There's a lot of discrepancies.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll get to that.
Very interesting.
All right, in 4th place, Chris the Criminal Ackerman.
All right, so my prodigy prevailed.
Yeah.
Ironically, he had...
He lost on camera, but you know when the cameras are off.
True.
That's
Yeah.
right. So,
I give him credit. He definitely did a lot better than last year, so you trained him well.
You're welcome.
all right. In 3rd place, you have yours truly, 0% criminal rating, by the way.
Go on, give the ladies a smirk.
Mm-hmm.
Give them a snarl. God dang.
He's single.
Let me just say, though, Chris the Criminal, he was on track to beat me. If he would have just had more practice and put more times in with his auto Subaru Legacy and would have gotten used to the sequential gears or whatever, sequential shifters, he would have beat me. So he was on track to beat me, but he ran
Jake's
out
a
of time.
very humble racer.
Oh, big.
This is a very dirty but legal sport.
All right, in second place, Tanner Schlater.
Golden boy.
Criminal rating 13.46%.
Yeah,
Very nice.
not my best for
Very nice.
obeying the law this year. Not my best racing at all. But you
He
know,
might.
I lost to a good component, so I can't really
Well,
say
thank you,
much.
bro.
Yeah.
Thanks.
If I have to say, if I were to lose to anyone, it would have to be between either you or Jake. No one else. So
And then,
Of course, your Burnville Legal Racing
Mm.
champion, 2019 season.
whoo!
Nick Burnville's baddest Sokolovic. What's he have? 7.69 criminal rating. That's right. So,
Oh yeah.
good, good.
I'm not gonna deny, man. It was really, really hard getting first place this
Oh,
season.
yes.
Oh my goodness.
So he won. He got that by 1 point, by the way.
yeah,
He beat Tanner out by 1 point. Tanner was in the lead for most of the season until like the very last night.
yup. He
Yeah.
came back and just beat me in his final race, and
He absolutely destroyed his Burnville tourism time.
yeah,
Oh my goodness.
So
It
what
was-
was the previous record for Burnville tourism?
it
Let's
was
take a
my
look.
it was my
two-
best time,
was-
203 something, or was it? Yeah, I think it was 203.
So yeah, it was 203 even, and
Yeah.
Nick got 159.69. He broke the 2-minute barrier.
And I before that was 209 was like my record prior.
Right.
Mhm.
Boy, I just want to recap on that night and
Yeah.
go a little before that. All right.
Yeah.
So Burnville Legal Racing, it's a comedy. It's like a comedic athletic event
Oh, big
Right.
time.
where the episodes, obviously, every single episode is funny. It has jokes in it. It has a bunch of quotable lines, but it also has the racing and the actual what I call the legal athletic
Competition.
element. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And where it is a sport, okay? So, a backstory of how we all know each other. We went to the same high school, and we raced cross country and track and field together, right?
Mhm.
So we went from cross country and track runners to Burnville legal racers. Oh yeah,
You gotta keep racing one way or another, and if we're
Right.
gonna do it on the track, we might as well do it on the streets. of
but
course,
the
legally.
same feeling you get before you run a cross country or track race, you get before Burnville legal racing. Because one slight twitch of the gas pedal, and your ass will be disqualified. And oh man, is that a shameful, shunning feeling.
You know, I
Nobody
honestly,
wants to break the law.
I honestly feel it is more stressful
yeah.
to be doing Burnville legal racing than it is to actually run like an actual like foot race, because you are
yeah.
so much more mental and you're so much more in tune to like what you're doing. You're so focused on every little action that you know if you just mess up a little bit, that could be the biggest difference of all. Like that could be first and second, that could be second, third. It's huge.
Yeah, and obviously there's an absolute element to the fastest somebody could go in Burnville legal racing, right? With acceleration as fast as possible to 25 and deceleration to 0. But it's just getting to that point, right? So our times, especially me and the golden boy over here, our times have literally gotten so fast that it's fractions of a second, right? Like 0.3 of a second, 0.2 of a second we have to worry about our times being away from one
If you
another.
remember our grudge match of Main Street, that's literally what happened. We each
Yeah.
broke the
Yeah.
world
Yeah.
record that night,
Mm-hmm.
and we were just maybe like 0.2 of a second off of each other.
Yeah, it was less than a second.
It was ridiculously
And
close.
it
It's
is,
only going the speed limit too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
I guess
that's
of course.
speed limit.
yeah, of course. Yeah, and that's so crazy because like what I said to that, like that element, like we got so fast, right? So I remember thinking like, all right, early in the season, Tanner, you weren't performing like to
No.
what you were like last year,
No.
right? Like your 2018 times
Yeah.
were beating your 2019 times up until around like August area,
Something like
right?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until like midway through the season, towards the end of the season, that's when I really like got everything together. I'm like, you know what? I got to get out of my head and do what I did last year and just have fun with the race.
And man, I have this memory of me sitting at the steps, right? And I'm thinking like, oh, all right, I got his number, man. I have like 4 or so of the records. And then I get a text from this fellow, and he's saying how many records this guy broke. And immediately my mood was like, and I was like, this can't be happening. Because there was only like a week left of Burned Illegal Racing, before the season officially ended. So I'm like, I gotta go out. So I went out into my Jeep, and I just practiced. It was like midnight. Yes. And I practiced my ass off, stopping really fast. Oh, my thank you. And man, I grinded hard. And the only thing on my mind for that week was beating Tanner Schlater.
Oh, man. And all of it too. My whole thought process about all of this too. Like, I got these records, but I'm like, Nick is such a good competitor that this still isn't set. Like, there's a few records that I'm like, I don't know. If he does a little bit better, he can beat it. I'm like, I didn't do as good as I know I could have. Like, I still had a few mishaps. And I'm like, oh god, like one of those small little things that I did wrong during that race. I'm like, he's gonna come back and just get that record again, and I'm gonna get second. And sure enough, that's what happened.
So Jake, recall the last race of the season.
Right. Yeah.
And for your eyes, what was the vibe you were feeling?
Oh yeah, Burnville Tourism. It was very tense because right before that, he DNF'd on a course. So
On Main Street.
Yeah,
The one that I would think that I could beat him because, like, we all have our skills, right? And acceleration and deceleration, right, are my fortes. Whereas Tanner, he's really good at handling, and like his Balzer Blitz, like I'm not even close to his Balzer Blitz time. Tanner's really good at speed control and handling.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, he has a sedan, so Jeep. Nick's, he has to worry about rolling over in his Jeep. But yeah,
It's quite
Yeah, go on, Jake.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, you're talking about Balzer Blitz. Like, I remember taking the turns that like I didn't have to stop at like 23 miles per hour. And I'm like, I'm just trying to stay within the speed limit, stay within my lane, and just turn as hard as I can while still going as fast as I can.
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was his last chance. He was only a point behind Tanner, and if he took Burnville Tourism, he would be the victor of Burnville Legal Racing 2019. So it was very tense, and man, I've never seen somebody drive like that in Burnville Legal Racing. Now, when you talk about racing at the limit, this guy was at the limit, dude. The stops, the acceleration, and not once did he touch 26. It was insane. I dead on the speedometer the whole time. It was crazy. And that pulling in, of course, in Burnville Tourism, as you know, since you're all fans, pulling into the parking spaces. I've never seen somebody jacking into drive, park, reverse. So
You probably thought I was gonna hit Mario.
Yeah. It was crazy. Oh, that was amazing. And of course, he took it by like 4 seconds. And that's amazing. In Burnville Legal Racing, like winning by 4 seconds at this point in the game is insane because of how well established the world records are.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
You win by like 0.1 of a second now in Burnville Legal Racing. Like you don't win by 4 seconds. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And it's like, speaking of that too, I remember just like the issues we had in June area when we had that faulty faulty speedometer app.
Just go off.
Yeah.
Oh man, that first grudge race, man, of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Whoo! We were both tight.
Oh yeah.
We were,
Oh yeah.
man, our blood was boiling, man. You could put a potato in our veins and it'd be well cooked.
I mean, it came down legitimately to the final race. It came down to tourism, and we were off by like what, maybe a second or two of each other at tourism. It was
Yeah,
so
I did beat
close.
you in tourism then.
Yeah.
I mean, your record still beat mine, but
Yeah.
I just had the better race that night.
Yeah, you had the better race
until
that
then.
night.
Yeah.
See, but that's what we were saying before. Like, those little things that you don't do in Burnville Legal Racing cost your time so much.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
like the longest standing record right now is Wolf Street, and that's your
2018.
2018 record.
Yeah.
Wolf Street. What is it? 107.5 4.8 or something like
Well,
that.
I'll put it up in the video.
Yeah, but it was.
Sure. Yeah.
It's crazy because like.
Yeah. At the end, we'll give you a recap of like the spreadsheet
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah. But, like that's just crazy that we broke so many records and did so many milestones this season.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no one could beat that Wolf Street time.
Yeah. I think I came like 0.3 or something from it.
Yeah.
In my final race.
Yeah.
Right. Because I broke that in your tourism then of the records.
Yeah, because you needed to beat 3 of mine.
Right.
You did that one, and you did tourism, and that got you.
Because the way it works, right, for those who don't know, is we have 5 standard courses that are for the standings of who wins an actual Burnville Legal Racing season, right? We have Wolf Street, we have 3rd Street, we have Main Street, we have the Bolts or Blitz, and we have Burnville Tourism. For the grudge matches, or grudge races, whatever you want to call it, we have the thing called novelty courses as well, which is we flip a dice and whatever it lands on is whatever novelty course it has. And it's called novelty courses because it has like really quirky type, terrains.
Yeah.
We have 3-point turn. We have the Cat Taylor cul-de-sac.
Right.
The Thomas Street Sprint.
Oh, I still have
My
not
boy
done that
Chris
one.
Ackerman, I think, has the record for that, right?
Thomas Street Sprint,
Yeah,
that's right.
We got-
he's a world record holder of Thomas Street Sprint.
Because he's the only one that's done it.
No, you're prodigy.
Did Devin do it?
Yeah, and he lost.
Oh yeah, that was.
Oh,
I
is
think
that
he
the novelty?
he
Okay.
lost by like 0.1 or something.
that was
it
very
was
close.
it was
I thought he
crazy.
was the only one to do it because I wasn't there for that grudge match because I had to be I was out on vacation. With my
Oh, that's when we
family.
Skyped you.
Yeah, I
Yeah, that's cool.
had to come in and give my boys some words of advice and some motivation to win that grudge match.
Mm-hmm. Now, how about we talk about the people's favorite character in Burnville Legal Racing?
Oh yeah, clearly Clop, number 1 fan or AKA.
So, 52 years of age. Still looking pretty pristine.
Thank you.
Mhm.
So, what are some of your favorite memories from Burnville Legal Racing this season?
I think, honestly, in the beginning, the use of the shake weight as a microphone. And I think in that same first episode, he had me do some push-ups, and I just kept doing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say that's what I was like trying to get you to come onto my side. Like we're both Bethel boys, even though I truly don't like consider myself a Bethel boy. I don't get along with the whole Bethel group so much because it was like Devin, who was at odds with last year during the racing season, and I can't do this. I'm like, I'm not Bethel, I'm not Burnville, so I just adopted the Golden Boy.
Man, the first episode has so many quotes in it.
Oh yeah,
That's why I love the first episode
It's
so
so
much.
good.
Because Tanner, you said something great.
Yeah.
You go, I'm not a Bethel boy. I'm not a Burnville boy. And I sure as hell ain't a Raresburg boy.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, way to take a stab at Raresburg.
Like the 50 people that live there.
You know?
Yeah, the one road town.
You know?
And then Mason, when you were doing push-ups, when Tanner was talking trash about me, you were like,
Remember Muhammad?
yeah, you
Yeah,
brought
you
up
brought
Muhammad,
Muhammad.
and you're like, well, if you don't pay your dues, his dog is gonna have us.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, I don't respect him, but I do respect his dog.
Yes, you gotta respect Muhammad. Like he's a huge part of Burnville
He's the
Legal
lore.
Racing and like of the lore of Burnville. So you gotta respect
Yeah.
Muhammad. But like as soon as I couldn't do it, it was so weird.
Yeah, Mohammed's the Burnville Legal Racing logo, by the way. That's what the dog is.
Yeah,
AKA,
The doorbell?
I think that.
I don't matter. AKA the king of Burnville. Sorry, that doorbell sound kind of.
That's,
We never
But
looked
can
at
you
it.
see what
We never
that is?
walked
I
in.
got
that's
you.
pretty creepy.
Oh, it is a doorbell.
It is the doorbell. What the hell?
We
That's
never locked
pretty
the door too, so someone could.
Yeah, but just see
whatever.
what it is. Let whoever's in. All right, we're just at the
They're
cut.
in the house.
We're just at the
What
cut.
is happening now?
Halfway through it, I'd say.
I'll cut that out.
Alright, we're back in. That's Chris the Criminal, that's who
There
was
it
up
is.
front.
My
Bravo.
student. My student. My
Oh,
stu-
shit,
Wait, is this
live?
live?
Oh,
No, this isn't live.
Come on in.
Oh, this
Yeah, come on in.
There's your student.
Yo, we got Devin here.
man. Swag, swag.
Oh,
All right, so we got the crew now.
Yeah, so this is the whole Burnville Legal Racing crew, pretty much.
Yeah, that's right.
Phil and Kirshner, but I mean, this is really like all the film people that have drug matches and everything else. So,
Yeah, so before they arrived, we were talking about just some of our favorite moments,
Yeah.
and we were talking about like in the early episodes, how like there was like so many quotable things, and I thought of another one too, like when we had our post office fight,
oh yeah,
and I'm on the ground, I'm like, damn that Bethel boy, he's probably never eaten a beef stick in his life.
yeah. It's such a good quote.
I
For
think
you,
another-
for the guys that don't know, Redner's, the gas station here, the Redner's Super Quick Shop, best beef sticks out there. I've taken them out
100%.
to college with me, and I've given them out to a few people, and they're like, "Yo, these are really good. Like, where'd you get them?" Thinking that they're like high quality, like, well, they are, but like they came from like a really fancy like beef stick store, and I'm like, "No, this is from a gas station where I live," and they could not believe it.
And tell them like how much larger it made your penis too.
Oh yeah, by far. Like
For how
massive
long?
growth.
Like
I haven't measured it since, but like
at least
it's
a
been
half
a while.
inch.
Oh yeah.
I think another memory was when I went to throw you in Blue Marsh, and
Oh,
those kids happened to be there too.
Yes.
the
That-
that
high
was-
school kids.
That was
Yes.
so unplanned. Like we didn't plan that.
No.
It just so happened that these kids were just down there like smoking.
Yeah.
Where were they from? Like Exeter.
Conrad Weiser.
Yeah,
Conrad
they're
Weiser.
from Weiser.
Yeah, that's so crazy. And
No.
then we're just like, well, we got to do something with this. So,
And then when you yelled police, and they had like drug
banned
paraphernalia.
substances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's
Not trying to get anybody in
police.
trouble.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that. I think the best part too is we had a blooper in that whole scene too. Oh,
because you
Mason.
fell.
Yeah, Mason is coming up to throw Nick into Blue Marsh, and the first time we did that, the bank was so slippery. He goes running up and then just slides straight on his ass. It was so funny.
Yeah, I ruined my Vans.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that we were gonna film that day. I should have worn something better.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you should have been wearing that damn Chewbacca mask.
Yeah, I couldn't see. That was the problem.
Yeah.
And then how about what was going through your head then during the Mario's fight?
Oh god.
Oh well, we
Mario's
had.
fight.
I don't know. Like you might be able to hear it in the audio, like that video. The two of them were just so loud. There were people out walking that day. There was a woman. She was walking two of her dogs, and she saw the.
Confrontation.
Yeah, she saw the confrontation and thought it was a legit fight, in which it was, but
Yeah.
there were just so many people out that day. She was like, "Is this a fight?" And then like other people outside started like walking over to see what was going on. What did she say? That she was
Yeah.
like gonna call the police or something like that.
I don't know,
She pointed
I
out
don't
the
know.
security camera.
Yeah, she pointed out the security camera. She said like, "There's people that are like walking out of their houses to see like what's going on," and
Yeah.
Like, bitch, I'm
Oh,
Burnville's
this-
baddest.
yeah,
You can hear it in the video and the episode. Are you guys fighting?
Yeah.
A lot of fights happening.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I thought the woman asked if we were filming because I had the phone up that I was using to record. So I looked at her and I nodded yes, and then I realized that she asked if we were
Oh.
fighting and not filming. So I did like a double take and I was like, wait, and I started shaking my head no, and I was telling her like I was like doing this whole thing and I'm like pointing to the phone to let her know, and then she was like going off, and then more attention was attracted to us.
Yeah. Luckily enough, after that, we weren't filming for too much longer. We just
We got
set
it
the
out
record straight. We're like, no, we're not really like full on fighting here. We're just having a little confrontation.
I think the thing was that got the most attention, like kept having to redo it.
Oh
to
yeah.
show the most emotion.
Yeah, because the
Yeah.
first
We kept
time.
throwing him against the
Oh my
wall.
god, yeah.
So it's just screaming, and then like this thud of him being thrown against the wall.
We redid that like what, 7 times? At least.
No, it wasn't that
It
much.
was
Oh,
probably
we
like
did.
3 or 4.
I thought we did it more than that.
Yeah, I threw you against the wall. Good thing Mario's was closed.
Yeah, I know.
And that was a good quote too, because
Yeah.
I was like, you know Mario's is closed, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, that's fine. I didn't like Mario's anyway. It's like, I don't know, man. They got banging buffalo chicken pizza.
Yeah. No, I will admit, I fully said that just for like the video.
Yeah.
Mario's does have some really good ass pizza, but to keep like the whole energy going, I had to just be as confrontational as possible.
It's good. You had good quotes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like the other, if we're talking quotes, I think the other one too is like in the first episode again when you were saying like, you were just saying all this stuff. It's like, you're a golden piece of shit. And like my first response to that was like, you know what? What was it like? A golden shit is still golden.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was like, you know, I'd still take like shit. Like I'd take gold if it was like a shit. Like seriously.
I don't know what was coming out of your mouth.
Yeah,
there,
I
man.
know.
I'd be
I
like,
couldn't
my
fully
shit's
phrase-
really gold.
No.
Like,
No.
yo,
Like, if it was-
yo, you gotta give me some of that, man.
If someone like shit gold, I'd be like, all right, I'd still take it. It's gold.
Yeah. Oh man.
What about golden diarrhea?
Oh.
I mean, it would give me a lot of gas at pump 7, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, golden.
Exactly.
I don't know why I said
It's
that.
still golden.
Yeah. See, if you had me as a playable character in a Burnville Legal Racing video game, right? You know how like you choose something and they say like one like short quote, right? If you get me and choose me, I'd be like, "Eat shit, golden boy," because that's
Yeah.
definitely the most notorious.
Oh yeah, you said
I-
that so many times.
Oh, I love saying that.
I know you do.
Every time something goes good, man. I mean, I should start saying that in even like non-Burnville Legal Racing things
Yeah.
too. Like if I'm like doing something great, like if I get like a pay raise at work, it should be like, "Eat shit, golden boy." Or if like my mom cooks me a good meal, be like, "This is good. Eat shit, golden boy."
Oh man.
What?
I don't even know.
So now the late arrivers.
Yeah.
Let's have you speak a little bit.
So,
Um,
get over here.
Come here.
Get in here.
All right, so these two youngins, students of ours.
Yeah.
So, buddies, let's
Those are my students.
let's start. Let's start with who was ranked higher this season.
Yeah.
So, Chris Ackerman. What was your what were some of your favorite memories of season 1 of Burnville Legal Racing?
Probably. Didn't we have to redo the boxer thing? You know what I mean? The Alex
Oh,
Scullenberger
yeah.
thing, like 5
Oh!
Yeah. The blowjob thing in Oppenhauer. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that, man.
We have to redo that scene.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That was a yeah. So there's Burnville lore, right? That Oppenhauer part is notorious for some of the what do you want to call them?
I'd say.
Yeah. The reclusive youngsters getting fellatio. We'll just put it at that. So, in order to make this scene legit, I had a pair of my own underwear, and I got some mayonnaise, and well, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Yeah, that was a. Yeah, because you guys then too, man. You guys were definitely like jizzing your pants at that.
Yeah.
You guys were like, wow.
Yeah.
Devin Klopp, what are some of your favorite memories?
Probably when I beat Chris Ackerman in the grudge match.
Yeah, okay, you can suck my ass.
Boy, see, still hostile, huh?
What was the favorite part of that grudge match besides just the overall win?
When I took my shirt off.
He had the scream and the lunge.
Oh, that looped like 10 times in the video. Yeah.
I don't know. Just watching that video, because again, I wasn't there to film it, but watching it later, I think my favorite part of that episode is when Chris floors it in reverse down 3rd Street.
He's like, we gotta stop. He's like, I gotta do it over. I'm like, dude, you gotta go. You already
Yeah.
pushed the gas.
Yeah. Yeah, because Yeah, because I was your sensei, right?
Yeah.
So I was coaching you through the whole thing, but my lord, it was so hard not to laugh during that. I'm just like, oh, God, Chris.
I don't think
Well, I mean, I
anyone
was
has ever
lining
thought
up and
about that.
shit, and then I forgot I had it in reverse, and it was like, whatever, I give up.
Yeah, you were getting hot too during that, man.
That pissed me off.
I think every single one of the grudge matches,
Oh,
you know, except the last one with him on the bike,
yeah.
was legit heat.
Oh, big time, big
Like-
time. Like when it got heated, that was actual heat because it was so much on the line. Our pride is on the line in that. Like potential like race winning, like overall season wins, like.
Like Mason,
Man.
how about that? How was that grudge match? Because you were there during the first half in my car. When I was racing Tanner, like how was that environment?
I mean, just like I think the swear words thrown around. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely feel the tension because like you're trying to obey the damn law. You're trying to go to the speed limit. You're trying to follow like, you know, everything you're supposed to.
That music, though. The music you were playing. the
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
guitar shit,
Oh yeah, Emmanuel Barreca.
It made it more intense.
Yeah, and I DQ'd the first
Honestly,
race.
I think
Yeah.
that's what really made it intense from the start. Because as you saw in the video, I was just watching and waiting to see what he was going to do. And the next thing I know, I see him pull into the parking lot. I'm like, oh, he definitely just DNF'd. I was like, he definitely went out way too fast, guns a-blazing. And I'm like, I can just coast through that.
But you also
But, like,
you didn't use your turn signal either, right?
That was why I DNF'd. Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't you also hit 30
Yeah, but I DNF'd.
still? Like,
Before
maybe-
that, just not using his turn
Well,
signal.
I pretty much, I think I DNF'd before I even realized it. So
Okay.
that was just,
Ooh.
that was embarrassing,
I
man.
don't know. But even then, like, that also set, like, my pace for that entire grudge match, which was a slow, methodical pace. And that screwed me
You
for
got a
a
bit
lot of those
comfortable
races.
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got too comfortable with that, like, starting off, and it screwed me for the rest of the race.
How about some of the rules that weren't rules until this season,
Oh, yeah.
like Devin Klopp running over a curb?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to make a rule for that.
I was
Yeah.
like,
No,
I'm
you're not-
excited to hear on this
Yeah,
one.
no, you're DQ'd now. If you go off the course, then hitting a curb counts as that now.
Yeah, what are some of the other ones? Like we had some like what are like the
The
tell the camera like the parking stipulations too, like in tourism, like how much of a space you need for it to be illegal.
So, what do we say? Like, you have to have 3 tires inside the space for it to count? Is that what it was?
I thought it was still on 4. 'Cause
On
that's
4?
technically, yeah. I mean, that's legal right there.
Mhm.
I think it's like as long as you're within the white lines, that's the
Yeah.
technical definition of
Yeah.
parking. I mean, we all did that. We all
Yeah.
stayed within the white lines.
Yeah.
That never had to be questioned because we did it every time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, of course, Mario's is so easy too because it's just a simple
Yeah.
straight in and out.
Yeah.
But then, like, the post office is where that gets a little bit more difficult because
Right.
you have to like, it's a sharp turn to get in there.
Yeah. So, what do you think? Like, I'll go around and I'll just ask you guys like, what are your strengths and weaknesses as a legal racer? And I'll start with Devin Klopp. So, like, what's your biggest strength, and then what's your biggest weakness?
I guess my biggest strength would be staying at like 25.
So,
Like,
speed
all the
control.
time, yeah, speed control. And I guess my weakness would be getting like too heated or like too competitive.
Yeah.
Like you really get in the moment and you really like start screaming and shit.
Yeah. Jake.
Right. I'd say mine is probably acceleration, and I'm like okay at handling, but of course I got one leg because I have a truck. That would probably flip for the new car that I have. My new strength would probably be handling, and my weakness acceleration because it's manual. But hopefully I get skilled enough to overcome that.
Yeah, that's right. He has a new vehicle for the
Yeah.
2020
That's
Burnville
right.
Legal Racing
That's
season.
right.
So we don't want to spoil it too much. We'll
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
have vignettes.
Okay, that's right.
I would say I definitely know mine is speed control because if you ask these guys, like I have a digital readout in my car, and you can clearly see like if I'm at 24,
Yeah.
25, 26, and every time I'm on there, like on a good straightaway, I'm always at exactly 25. I do not like veer from that at all.
Yeah.
It's so solid, and I know like at least for me, mine is like my weakness is probably between like my acceleration and deceleration because I definitely have the weakest engine out of everyone here.
Mm-hmm.
So like I only have a 4-cylinder and that's it. So like there's nothing fancy to it, and it's just it doesn't have like the acceleration that I really need it to be like competitive in that area with like Jake or Nick. And then my deceleration, like half my brakes are drum brakes, which are not the best for this style of racing. I need that disc brake to like really clamp on and stop.
I smell it.
Oh
Yeah, I was gonna say your brakes have seen better days.
Oh, big time. It's like that's the other thing. I wear my brakes. I put them through the test.
Yeah. Yeah.
What you got?
So I'd say my strongest point is Devin's weakest point. This is like when I get angry, I seem to improve.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
I always like hearken it to like watching like a Patriots Super Bowl game, right? Where they're getting like blown out the first half, and then Tom Brady just comes back and they win the Super Bowl. It's kind of like, yeah, in a lot of the races I had and the times I had is like there's rocky starts, but whatever goes bad, there's always a greater ending. Skill wise is definitely my acceleration deceleration, as I mentioned before. And obviously I'm a resident of Burnville, so I know my knowledge of Burnville roads is subconscious. Like, it ain't legal to drive in your sleep, but I could Burnville legal race in my sleep.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, my weaknesses, well, as humble as a Burnville legal racer as I am. Well, my weakness, I said handling, but I feel like my biggest weakness, though, is coming to a complete stop. Because I feel like most of my DQs this year were because I didn't come to a complete stop. And the last race of the season, the one where I got that crazy tourism time, was where Jake, my beloved dear friend, DQ'd me.
I had to DQ him.
Because I didn't come to a complete stop
That's right.
in a Main Street stop sign.
Oh.
And it broke my little heart.
Just the nature of the game.
Oh yeah.
Mason?
Is it strengths or weaknesses?
Yes.
Well, I think my strength would be, I guess, being a master of disguises and being as hidden as long as I was without anyone noticing. Even like within the YouTube series, like a lot of you thought that like I was Tanner just because of the getup, but like, yeah. And then I think the weakness would be the fact that I died at the very end.
You're a double crossing son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Ackerman?
Criminal.
Well, I think my strengths are, I'm gonna be a bit humble here, everything. And,
Oh, okay.
What did I teach this boy?
Wow. I think you need to like knock him down a peg or two, man.
Hey,
I want to
Boy,
Yo,
he's
Jake
the
was
best
giving
at
you-
everything. Gets 4th overall.
hear me out.
Let's bring that into play here.
My weaknesses, now, those are a crappy speedometer and putting my car in reverse, fucking automatic transmission, man.
Oh, that's right. We did test that. When your car says 25, you're really going 23, isn't that right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you got gimped.
Yeah.
That was
We
unlucky.
did test
But,
that. Like the GPS one that I had that we verified before that actually like works.
Yeah.
Oh, we used it in his car to see how like it did, and it was definite. Like he was doing like 22, 23 when it said he was doing 25.
Yeah.
It was
I got
weird.
both those.
Because, like me and you, like we tested that faulty one, and it turned right on
definitely-
both of ours,
Yeah.
So, yeah, yours is real faulty then,
Yeah.
for sure. Damn.
Well, that'll be something next season, though. I'm going to try to make a device that's super accurate, GPS speedometer, and I'll have a nice readout for us, and it'll
flash or beep when we break the damn law. And hopefully that'll be a lot better for us. Nice universal speedometer instead of going off of our.
Yeah, this reminds me too, man, of I was at work the one day, and I was sitting on the couch, and I remember texting Jake, and I'm getting a little stressed out because me and him can't come to a consensus here. And the thought dawns on me after like 10 minutes of us debating this. And like, you know, with this new speedometer thing that we're gonna have, the universal speedometer thing, we're literally arguing over 100th of a mile per hour.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, you brought me into this one later. I was like, do we have to do it exactly? It's like 25.999 or just 25.99 or even just 25.9?
Or is it 25.01 or is it 25.49 or 25.51? Like, what the hell are we going to round up, down? Like, what is considered?
Yeah.
And you even asked the cop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I asked the cop, like, how far does your radar read out to? And he said, it's just one digit, 20, 25, 26, 27.
Yeah, so yeah, that helped.
That doesn't help us at all.
Yeah. So we, basically this season, we just had an integer type system, right? So as long as it was in the 25 integer, right?
Yes.
Then it was fine. And as soon as it hit 26, then it was a DQ. And for a majority of the season, we based the times off of integrity system, which we had the mods. So the OGs, if you recall it, the mods are me, Mason, Tanner, and Jacob.
And race without one of us.
Yeah, and we're honorable people, right? Like I'm dear friends with all of these guys, even though our on-camera persona may say otherwise.
Yeah.
Well, friends with them until we're on the race course,
Streets.
and then, well, let's just say we got some differences to settle.
All gloves are off at that point.
But yeah, through the integrity system, the times were pretty accurate for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be better, though, especially...
Yeah, a robot will always beat hand times.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, though, this season was a fabulous success. We never talked about episode 5 yet.
Oh, yeah.
This is your favorite episode.
This is 100% my favorite episode. 'Cause I feel like
this is the most dramatic one.
Yeah, it's the most dramatic. It's like the big reveal of like Mason as the guy that's trying to kill us. And I mean, like, I just feel like there's a lot of things that just went into that episode that really made it just so great. Like, just us really like connecting over our hatred towards Mason and like our growing respect for each other as legal racers.
Yeah, we had to come together as one.
I really like the chase scenes.
And when you would, like, have shirts on and then shirts off.
Yes.
Hey, I thought you were my fan!
I think one of my favorite scenes is when we were just running down and we were talking about how we each thought it was each other trying to kill us. I was like, I thought it was you that tried to kill me.
Yeah.
And I thought it was you. It was him all along.
Guess you weren't so bad after all, Golden Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I even got an elbow scar from that.
Yeah.
From the dives.
The
we
dives,
took,
yeah.
The sewage thing. The tunnel.
Yeah.
Because we had to redo that.
Oh, we did that like what, twice, maybe 3 times?
And it was like, I'm not gonna take a soft bump here.
No.
I'm gonna dive head first. And needless to say, I don't think it's a common thing to dive into that. Not quite.
I don't know. I also thought too, like with that episode, it also really like showed our personas out a lot too. Like you get really into the moment and very like hot and like emotional over it. And I like, and I try to take more like a slightly level-headed approach. Like I try to take things a bit more methodically and think about it through. Because like that one scene, you were like freaking out because like he's your biggest fan, he betrayed you, and I'm just like, you got to think about it like this. You got to get through this for the love of the sport.
Oh yeah. And we recorded that in the same day we recorded episode 6.
Yeah, that was fun.
Because I'm wearing the same blue tie-dye shirt for that. I had the same elbow bruise.
Yeah.
I was just done bleeding.
Mhm.
And then, how'd your legs feel after episode 6?
Oh, I was very tired, as you could tell, and if you watched, I physically died. So it was very exhausting to push my body to the limits because like I didn't have a car, so I had to settle for a bike. I couldn't have ran it. I would have liked to run it, but you have to be in a vehicle, so I took a bike.
Oh yeah, and that post office scene is
Oh yeah.
just like your how your camera face is really good.
Yeah.
You just got that expression to you that makes you a very interesting character.
Yeah, at the end there, I just felt like that was the most appropriate, like kind of like a person who didn't know what to do once they were caught. They were just kind of like, well, this is it.
Now I'll say the best cameraman of Burnville Legal Racing is Jacob Hare.
Oh yeah.
It's generally used behind the camera.
Now Jacob, you didn't have too much on-screen airtime for this season.
No.
You had a little bit when these two youngsters had their debacle,
Oh, that's right.
but other than that, you weren't on camera too much.
No, usually behind the camera.
So you think that's going to change for next season? You think you're going to get into some I don't know, altercations maybe?
Probably might have to have a grudge match of my own.
Well, I mean, I really think the reason why you weren't in front of the camera this season was because like your truck was having a lot of problems and it just wasn't really fit to do a lot of races, so
No.
you couldn't really get into most of the grudge matches and other races. But
When I think about it, I only did one set of races. Like I just did one night. I set my times down, and I got third. Like I just held on third position. Nobody could beat that. So I was happy with that.
You weren't, scared, were you?
Nah. Well, towards the end, I was scared. Like I mentioned earlier before Chris was here, I was pretty sure you're gonna beat me at the end. If you would have kept practicing, you would have beat me for sure. Yeah.
So let's recap now. Let's go around and let's give our favorite episodes of Burnville Legal Racing.
Alright, Doug, we'll start off with you.
I don't really know the number, but it's probably like 10 on the X-Roach match. Probably like the last
So it's
episode.
Episode 2 or
Yeah, the actual grudge,
like the
Match or
actual
the-
grudge
or
match,
the-
the one between me
or
and
the one before that. Because there was
Oh,
the
like
one where I
the
got thrown in the
actual-
late, and then the actual
the
one.
actual one.
Yeah, that one
Oh, I
was
did like
great.
where you got
Yeah.
thrown in the late.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Because
What the hell?
Because I did
Uh-huh.
think that was Tanner when he threw in the first
Yeah.
time I watched it.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that.
Yeah, I'd say
Jacob?
episode 1. It's just so quotable.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
What'd you say?
Well, like I said, episode 5, just because there's a lot of things that just went into that. All of our stuff is ad lib too, so like,
Yeah.
all those emotional scenes were just off the top of our head, and we just kept rolling with it.
Episode 6, the ending. I had to rewatch many a time.
I can't think. I know, yeah, episode 1 is definitely up there. The grudge match, that, like, I remember that night I was telling Tanner, I'm like, I think he got it. Like, just looking at the times, and then I was wrong, and then it ended up being you who ended up taking it, and that surprised me. Yeah, episode 5, the big reveal, the whole chase scene, all of that stuff, that was just really fun to do. But even like the two of you, like your grudge match, like being in the car with you guys here, and you were just like, because it was a new set of characters that you guys participated more, so that was really fun too.
It needed to happen.
Yeah, it did.
What's the episode number for your grudge match? You two?
Episode 2.
Oh yeah, I like that
Episode
one
2.
because
Yeah.
you saw me pissing in your yard. And, I think that's the one where I came up with the bleached asshole Tanner thing.
Yeah.
I like that
Yes.
one.
And then Tommy started barking too while you're taking
Yeah.
the
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. So we got to get a little serious now about
Yeah.
things. There's something that's been pissing me off. I want you guys to exit. Exit. Not you. I don't like the fact that you're leaving Burnville, bud.
Oh shit. Yeah.
We were Burnville's baddest together. We did everything together! You Mr. Laffy Pants, huh?
That's right.
I think I can you, Jacob Hare. Burnville Legal Racing, 2020.
Oh shit.
You're next.
Oh shit. Oh snap.